Hey, it's Misfires on Main. I'm Dustin. That's my Jeep. Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4.
A little rich, a little oil. Not too worried about that, but you know, there it is. 97 Jeep Wrangler. It lives a hard life. It's got stories. Lots of broken things. She gets down, you know. Just a basic kind of Jeep build, you know. 4-inch left, 35-inch tires. Tree track front and rear, 488 gears. Yeah, lots more, but we'll get to that. Ain't hitting on me, but the day is great with the misfires on me. So here, finally get to show you my Jeep. Haven't really showed it much, or other than smashing the Cadillac into it. But yeah, it's just my little toy. Had it for 4 years now, I think. 3 or 4. A lot of time, a lot of money. Wife doesn't know that. But yeah, it's a good little rig now. Not when I got it. It ran, drove when I got it. But I did pull it out of the weeds after it had been sitting for, I don't know, like 1, 2, 3 years. Yeah, but it started, The rear drive shaft was off of it. It had a blown U-joint, so it was just had front wheel drive, which those U-joints are bad. Both the ring and pinions were completely shot, like, not kidding you, probably an inch of play in and out on the pinion, and the carriers would just move side to side freely and it would clunk. So what I did is just put a U-joint on that drive shaft and then beat the snot out of it until I twisted that one, and then I got a real drive shaft, and then the front differential had the wrong drive shaft on it. It was way too long, so it like, wow, when the axle was at full droop, the slip yoke on the drive shaft was just completely smashed tight, and I can't believe it didn't bust the transfer case off. It did break the transmission mount, so I put one of them in there, put a new front drive shaft on with the right length for the axle that was in it, which wasn't, it's a Dana 30 low pinion, but it was the long, like, older, like, CJ style or something. Not the TJ one anyways. And so yeah, fix that all up. I do all the brakes, front and rear, ball joints, wheel bearings, tie rods. It needs a gearbox, but I haven't put one in it yet. Let's see. I'll put the little cowl thing in on the hood. Light bars like that when I bought it. Flat fenders were on it when I bought it. I put these mud flaps on because it would just spray mud directly onto the windshield, right into your face, you know, all over the windshield every time, like a little puddle. And so that got annoying, so I just put some trucker flaps and chopped them up, self-tapped them on there. It had like a 90s Badland winch, or like Harbor Freight's first winch they made. I might have a picture of it. Somewhere, actually. I think I have one. I got this buried and counted on the winch to pull me out when it was just me and my buddy and nobody else in my Jeep only. And like 3 feet of mud, like bottomless mud basically. It just suctioned up there and the winch broke. So that was an all-in adventure. Tried to pull it out, couldn't pull it out. One of my buddies came, tried to pull it out, and then another one came. We broke every strap we had. And so I just went home with them. And, you know, the next morning, run Harbor Freight, go back out to the woods, brought a pile of tools, whatever I could think of. Me and my two buddies went out there and changed the winch in the pouring rain in the mud pit that you just sunk like past your knees and couldn't move. Threw the winch on it, wired it up quick, and winched itself out. So that was fun. By the way, thanks to everybody that was part of that, because what a job. And let's see. Oh, and the front bumper that was on it was just like a 3/8 thick C-channel. And it was super heavy, and it was only had one bolt on each side on the top, nothing on the bottom, so the whole thing would just curl. It had a winch plate up here. Whole thing would just curl and actually bent the winch plate right over. Thankfully, it didn't screw up the winch. So then I, you know, and like a year after that, then I put this bumper on and actually got 6 bolts in it and the little Barnes skid plate cover. I think this is a Barnes stubby bumper, and then their gearbox cover, which I used the first time I wheeled it. After I put this on, I smashed a rock right on that cover, and thankful I put it on, because I would have destroyed the gearbox or bit my arm or something. So it works. Let's see what else. Oh, I got, now I'll show you pictures here. I bent the front, the first Dana 30 that was in it. I bent that one straight up in a U, which you see, you know. It's nice. Yeah, well, let's see. Oh, I stripped the ring and pinion in the first axle. I had, I think they're motive in here, but I got 35s on it, and I'm not very nice to it. Stripped the first ring and pinion I had in here, And then so I put another ring and pinion and got Yukon this time. Yukon wasn't available, I think, or something like that for that differential. It was kind of an older one. But it was available at the time that I rebuilt it again. So I put a Yukon in it, made sure it was set up right, because I think I was a little high in my heel to toe ratio on the last one and kind of broke the tooth off, but oops. So pretty confident in this set. I'm sure it'll give at some point. You know, you beat her hard enough, you can break anything. It's only a Dana 30. At that, so then I bent the axle, and so the gears that I had just put in, I couldn't use because I was able to find a Dana 30 high pinion out of a Cherokee. Reverse rotation, different gear setup. So I still got those gears. If anybody needs a low, long pinion 488 gears for Yukon, Dana 30, you know, real cheap. They've been on the shelf for a while now. And so yeah, I built this axle. I put sleeves and a truss on it to try and avoid the whole thing again. Had to put new axles in it, so I put Yukon chromolys in it because I straight up blew the ears right out of the axles when I bent it. The U-joints fell right out, they came apart. I actually broke the long shaft here, the right one, broke it off in the carrier. I got a Detroit True Track in the front. And it broke it off in the carrier, and I was a little sketched out, like, is my carrier going to be okay? Because that's, you know, as much money as the whole axle is. And, I don't know, came apart, went back together, set up good, still works to this day. So, happy about that. True Tracks are tough. Put the little C notch, or C gusset plate on there from Barnes. Yeah, it's about as much as the build goes. Build, you know. It's got a 4-inch short arm lift on it. Had it when I bought it. Don't know what brand it was. The lower control arms say Freedom Racing, and I found the Freedom Off Road, and I seen those on Amazon for very cheap. So I'm assuming just cheapest thing I could find. Might have been like a rough country lift or whatever. Bent the axle, bent the stock upper control arms, so then I replaced them with stock arms, which was a bad idea. First time I wheeled it after that, bent those, actually broke them in half. And I could have drove it, like we were already done wheeling the day, we were going on the road, headed back to the trailers, and just telling my buddy that was riding with me, it's like, yeah, we had a pretty good day, you know, I didn't even break nothing, I kicked it pretty hard. And I just happy scoot along, and then just rattling, smacking off my feet. I was like, what the hey? Yeah, both the upper control arms snapped in half, so don't get those, they're junk. So I got, I think they're Rubicon Express adjustable uppers now. Frame's probably gonna break before those, so which frame I had to fix front to back with the eBay Chinesium repair kits. I made the center section at a 1/4-inch spur tube. I just sliced it on like each end, so I kind of wrapped it around the frame, and then, you know, because it was really bad. It was rotted. The whole bottom was rotted. I couldn't even hold a skid plate on it, which is the transmission mount and everything else, and it was falling right off. So I was in a hurry. I wanted to go wheeling that weekend. I just bought the Jeep, realized the frame was junk, so I just made some plates and made the skid plate work and bolt to it. Ended up welding cut off bolts, and so they stick out, so there's studs now on the plate. Yeah, I got some stories. We had fun in this. Fun fact: my wife actually split this with me when we bought it, and she split we weren't married at the time, so that was a bold move. But we split the cost of the build. Like I put the tires, brakes, just to get it going, and the differentials to rebuild them because they're absolutely trashed. And so yeah, at the start, I think I had $4,000 in. I bought it for $1,300, which is a screaming deal. You know, I was just losing my mind. And I think I had like $4,000 into it just to get it good enough to use. Like if you beat on it, you definitely would have broke something hardcore. Oh, sleep. No. But yeah, we were able to drive it on the road-ish. I still have the other, I'll show you the picture here. Stock wheels, steel wheels, or what, not stock, but the ones that came with when I bought it. Had those wheels on it, all four were bent, especially after I bent the axle. I might have had like one straight one, but then I bent the front axle and it hit so hard I collapsed the tire and bent the rim. Both front rims, I don't know, all four of them were bent. You put it on the lift and watch them. They were just all wobbling. You going down the road, it'd shake you. So this spring I finally put aluminum wheels on it. I think they're Vision, which now seeing those Method bead grit things kind of tempted me. I want them, but we'll see. I got so much bead sealer on these. We'll see. It shouldn't go anywhere, but whatever. I usually don't air down that. Well, anyways, you just give it wiggle pedal. Yeah. So take you around here. These are the General Grabber X3s. They're okay. I'm a big tire look kind of guy, and I don't really care for the look of BFGs. The mud terrains or whatever ones. And these were a little cheaper, but pretty close in price at the time. So I went with them. Yeah, they could use some siping, which maybe this winter if I get enough time between Cadillac and sleds and everything else that I got going. Maybe I'll just bring them to Pomps and have them sipe them up for me. Get some traction. But yeah, rear bumper, this is exactly how it was when I bought it, just it was completely rusty, so I sprayed it off with the garden hose and spray painted it. It is probably half the weight of the Jeep because it's 1/4 inch C-channel here, welded directly to the frame, and then 1/4 inch angle here, you know, NASA grade welds. Yeah, so then there's I don't know how thick this is. I would assume, being everything else 1/4 inch, that it's also 1/4. It might be 3/16. They might have bought this and just smacked around because this looks like, you know, more machine welded or something. It had a tire carrier. I mean, I've never seen it because it broke off here, and so I don't know. I could make that work. At least I got the latchish part. I want to redo this back bumper. Probably just get rid of this and make it smaller and thinner, and move this closer, because every time I'm going uphill and it's like super steep, smash, and that gets old. It hurts. Yeah, it is also, you know, real rough. Body is just giving up on me. Like, ugh. You know, this is all hodgepodge plates and eBay stuff and skid plate studs and da. So, yeah, it's been fun. And now it absolutely needs floors. I don't know if you can tell, you know. So, yeah, because my foot, I know it looks 100% solid right there. It's not. The carpet is structural. My foot actually rests on the top of the left frame rail when I'm driving. That's neat. Yeah, I put a windshield in it, and then the next day I did that crack, and then, you know, falling a little too close down dirt road, side by side, and smash. So, yeah, needs a windshield, but kind of waiting for it to get one more crack in it, and then I'll change it. Had to put all new speakers and radio. I threw a sub in here. I still got to actually mount it, but I got amp under the seat. It gives it enough to hear it going down the road. It's not a system, you know, but it works. 4-liter, which I blew up the first one. When I bought it, I mean, it always had like a knock. I don't know what to exactly call it other than a knock, but a tap, a very loud noise that never went away until I, you know, spun a rod bearing and absolutely destroyed the piston. I think I got pictures. If I do, I'll show you right now. Yeah, completely destroyed the piston, windowed the block, bent the valves in the head. It was trashed. So I thought it's, 4-liter should be easy. No. There's only 2 years of Cherokees that fit these, and there's only 2 years of Wranglers apparently that fit these. 96 and 97, and I don't think it was 98, but maybe. So yeah, ended up finding a 97 or 6, I don't know, one of the two. Only had a couple options. Cherokee motor. Only difference is the oil filter goes straight back instead of punching out the side like the Wrangler motors. And I had to change the oil pressure sensor because it was a 2-wire instead of a 1-wire, or vice versa. So that, not a big deal. Plopped it right in. It was a 76,000 mile motor when I put it in. I probably got maybe 3,000 on it. There's wheeling miles, so they're hard, but the last engine used oil like crazy. Bad. It was smoke blue just as soon as you revved on it and go, it was bad. So this one hasn't burned a drop since I put it in. It's still on its first oil change, I guess, which it is. I think I changed it this time last year. I'll have to look at the filter. I got it dated on there. I'll have to open the hood and look. But yeah, I think it was last year that I did that. So my odometer doesn't really work because my speedometer is all screwed up. Because it's got a slip yoke eliminator on the transfer case. Oh, of course. It's going to hit the ground. Yeah, great. Can't even open the hood all the way. The hood prop rod is gone. Oh, yeah. Look at that. See? Date your filters. 5W30, 91320. And I know that's 2. Can't quite see it from here, but did it last year, so almost exactly a year ago. Finally threw an air filter on it because the other one that was literally had complete holes in it. Like, it was pointless to have on there. Yep. Nothing special to see. Completely stock 4-liter. I think I showed you my Rowdy battery hold down because that snapped off when I took the battery out of it. When I did the motor and yada yada, make more room, And I got a new battery for it. I just haven't put it in because I know that's a project that I'm trying to avoid, but I need to do. And let's see. Oh yeah, I smashed the radiator one night. First night I actually bought my house. Me and my buddy were wheeling this behind my house. I got some property and yep, found a tree stump. We found a tree stump that was literally cut like, I don't know, 2 feet off the ground at a 45 and smashed right into my radiator, so that was neat. And we were actually we weren't stuck at the time. I was trying to turn around and then I got stuck and I hit that tree stump at the same time, so lost all coolant. It's overheating. I'm trying to get it unstuck, got stuck. Then we had to winch, so every time I'd winch, I'd have to start it, keep the battery charged because it's junk, and so I'd run the winch, get it to turn around a little bit and get out, and then I'd have to move the winch and then it'd be overheating, so I had to shut it off, use my phone light, winch, go to the next tree, put the line up. Oh, it was over an hour. And that's only like right off the edge of my field here. Yeah, what else? I'm bringing back some memories now. I've had a lot of fun with this thing. Yeah, I don't know. I drive it quite often now in the summer. I took the top off, and that's on my project this winter. I got to make the soft top right, unless I find a hard top, but the soft top frame is just hodgepodge again. So I want to make that right because it's always a pain to put it back on. Every time I take it off, that's why it's still off. It's been off all summer. I don't want to put it back on because it sucks. Yeah. I think that's about it, She's a trusty old girl. I just love dogging on it. It does not have AC, and I'm very sad about that. I didn't really care at first. It's like, you don't need that. Well, let me tell you what. It gets so dang hot on your feet. Like, I gotta put some heat stuff guard on the firewall and floors once I do the floors. keep the heat out, because man, it gets so hot. Like, you know, you just got hot and not so hot for the temperature, and then you put the blower on and it's still blowing hot air because the air duct for the vents is in the engine bay, pulling the screaming hot air. That was my reason to put the vent cowl thing, which it helped a little. You got to kind of be moving for it to work, obviously, but helps a little. Not great. Yeah, so other than that, it ain't too bad to drive when you're wheeling and it's hot. It's hot, but other than that, she's a good little unit. So, yeah, I got some plans this winter. Hopefully I can scrape on through it. But otherwise, it's pretty much good to go. I really, in the future, like, I want to put 37s on this and just, you know, what I want is tons of 40s, of course. But, you know, not there yet. I got my eyes on some. Not there yet, you know. I got some on hold. They're just waiting for me. I just gotta pick them up. I'm not ready yet. So, I really want 37s on this, just because I know it's a Dana 30. Yada yada. It does have a Dana 44 in the back. But yeah, but I want a 6-inch long arm lift, because this short arm, it's so sprung up. It's just like the arms, it doesn't really do this. The arms just kind of want to do this, and then the bumps. It's rough, but does the job. Yeah, I don't know. Want to go for a ride? Let's go for a ride. Okay, pups. Of course, coming for a ride. He loves it. He loses his mind. She's a little young yet. She doesn't really know the concept, but she tries to jump up, and she gets a little pumped when he does. So yeah, thanks. Yeah. So here we are in the Wrangler. Fire it up, get her going. Sorry, little girl. I won't do that anymore, I promise. Not with you. Okay, parking brakes off. Yeah, don't know if I told you, but it is a 5-speed. I just couldn't, I couldn't own a Jeep that's just not, unless it's like a real wheeling rig, like a buggy almost, that, you know, then automatic. Like, if you're driving a hardcore rock road and stuff, yeah, it's a little easier with the auto transmatic. But I just like 5 speeds. You can first reverse them a lot harder and a lot faster, you know. Garage door shut here. Go for a spin. Yes, my garage doors are shut. I know. It's one of them things, you just put the blinders on. And you didn't see none. Shoot! Windy out today. Probably the last time I'm really gonna get this to enjoy driving this with the top off, so I'm trying to do that. Alright then. Ready, Ollie? Oh yeah. Lady's ready too. She's tuckered. Huh? Nothing else to do but give her the beans. Can't tell you how many times I've taken off with that parking brake on. Wow, here we go. It's a good thing my neighbor is cool because, yeah, I like this thing's pretty loud when you're giving it the beans, as well as most of my stuff. And I like to drive hard, and he laughs, and I think that's even funnier. So we're gonna give him one. beautiful. It's like 87 sunny every day. It doesn't change. However, like I like the temperature changes, ups and downs, in betweens, and you know, that's what I'm used to. And like it's only maybe not even 70 today, and I'm just shorts in it, you know. But yeah, I sure like it up here. There's just a mix of everything. That guy scrapes topsoil. There's pumpkins on the road, or up the road. There's pumpkins back there, corn there, Amish there. Yeah, whatever. Lesson I've learned: don't set the gas cap on fire and then forget to put it on. Then you just go over. Then leave it at this actually same pump or one down, something like that. But yeah, we're top her off because it's got a 12 or 14 gallon tank, something like that. And it's Thursday, so get her a little drink of the good juice. So, just creeping through the parking lot at the gas station, and I heard a noise, you know, familiar noise. I'm familiar with it anyways. That power steering. So, not that it's a problem, but I do carry fluid with me. Because the gearbox just pours out the output. It seals so bad. Like, the gearbox has buoyancy slopped out and whatever else. And it leaks when it's, I mean, always leaks. But there it is. Yeah, it's actually strain fluid, but you know, same stuff. Whatever's cheaper on the shelf that day is what I buy. I connected this open. I got it. Ooh, thirsty. I'll get you a straw. Suck her up. And, you know, just like my grandpa's truck, when it leaks, you just put too much in. And then it foams up, overflows. And then you're good. You know, so next time we drive it, and it's actually really, really full. So, sure that'll blow out the cap about halfway to where I'm going. Just going over to a buddy's house, but I don't know. Figured I'd take you guys for a ride. Introduce you to this fancy little unit. That's about the only problem I ever have. I mean, at least I know what's going on. I put in a power steering pump on it too, but I just run it dry on fluid. Yeah, that's, you know, sprays all over the hood. 6, everything else checks out. Yep, check. Okay. Boop. Yep. On there. Ta-da. Good to go. Yeah. Phew. Made it. What a good day. Just an easy Sunday cruising kind of day, you know. But hey, thanks everybody for coming along for the ride. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't have much to show for as far as the play for the Jeep goes, but threw some pictures in there along the way. Yeah, good rig. Glad to have it. It's a solid unit. Pretty proud of it for what it is. It does everything the average Joe should be able to do with a Jeep, you know, built. Yeah, good day. Got to see a couple buddies, watch football game. Packers won. That's what matters. Yep. From Michigan, Packers fan. Packers are closer than Detroit, by the way. Anyways, Jeep made her a whole day flawlessly, other than power steering, but had to do that a handful of times throughout the life. As you can see, I keep a little juice in the back seat. Yeah, thanks for joining me. Really appreciate all you watching. Like, comment, subscribe. What do you think? What should I do with it? I mean, I know what I can do with it, but what would you guys do? Would you make it more? Would you make it less? Keep it the same? Don't touch it because it ain't broke? I get all of it. But, you know, the guys just got to keep going. Made it what it is. Why can't I make it better? So, could be fun. I am a little scared of making it too big because my garage ain't that tall. And it just kind of almost scrubs when you're coming in. That's alright. You know, there's more videos before this one, so go back. Keep clicking. This ain't done. It's going to be all winter. I got a motor right here that you don't know about, and you may not be able to see. I don't know where the camera's at. But we're going to get into that. Do something with it eventually. Got a snow and bow right here we're going to rebuild. And that's a sentimental thing, you know, for one of my buddies. It's going to be a good unit. Got my own sled out back. We got to get running. Don't start at all. Of course, Cadillac. That ain't going nowhere. We got lots of work to do on that. We got floorboards put on this. The S10. Still haven't decided what I want to do with it. Tell me what you think. But I'm in between a street build, like a, you know, moderately high horsepower street build, or a wheeler build. I don't know if you've seen Bleepin' Jeep's S10, but that thing's a unit. Granted, that one ain't four-wheel drive or extended cab, but it's that era S10. So, also not a 4.3. It's a high horsepower 2.8. But thanks for coming along with me. I'm gonna keep going with this as much as I can, as long as you guys want to join me and support me along the way. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching Misfires on Man.
Bye.